Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Busella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny southern Arizona.
Today, it's a little bit of a scenery change for us, which we'll explain.
Yep.
Today, we talk with brothers Mike and Joe Brusca, who've been members for, I guess, about a year now, and pretty loud on the internet about their experience with Land Academy, which is great.
Well, they're loud anyway. They have their own show and all good stuff going on there, too.
And they're brothers. Yeah. And I hope they're getting a good argument for us today. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us on, Steve.
This is not the first time that we've spoken with you. And I'm wondering what's changed since the last time we did a show together.
Yeah, so I believe we had you guys on our show. How many months ago was that? Was it maybe August or July? Maybe mid 2020. And since then, we were kind of in a in-between phase in our land business. So we joined Land Academy. I think it was December 30th or something like that, 2019. And so we finally been able to, have a year go by of doing the deals, letting everything come in. And obviously it was a bit of a special time. So back then when we had you guys on our show, we kind of weren't sure about what we wanted to do with the business. I don't think we had really seen the full results of it yet. And then, after a year, we had crossed the 6 figures profit mark. So yeah, we put a lot of effort into this business because we saw it was, we just liked the way that it's laid out, and we can probably get into that, but yeah, definitely happened quick and glad to be back.
I love it. I was going to say, thank you so much. A couple of weeks ago, my Erin on my team said, you got to check this out. She sent me this YouTube link, what you guys are doing. So I went on there and watched you guys on YouTube. I'm like, this is fantastic. So I really love that you're sharing with the planet, here's, mailer number 1 and our results and all of that stuff. It was so helpful to everyone to really see, working model and truth of how everything unfolded for you. So I think it was funny because then I kind of like, you guys check this out. I'm calling him going, get in here. You guys, that was a long show. I want to say it was like over an hour or something on YouTube, and it looked like you had a lot of good, positive feedback and viewership. And I'm so glad. So it's great because we can talk about that a little bit more again too. Your background is a perfect fit for what we do anyway. So please share more about that.
Oh, you can get into that.
Yeah, well, we started, basically in 2015. I was just looking for a way to make money online because I really wanted to quit my job. So what I started doing was I started like flipping stuff on Amazon. Like I would go to yard sales and clearance sections, and it's kind of funny because it's really come full circle because that was the first thing I ever did to make a few dollars online. And it's similar to the land in the respect that you're going out, getting stuff cheap, and then trying to move it fast. But anyway, then it kind of evolved into us I started teaming up with Mike, and we started making our own websites where we would drop ship expensive products, and we still do that today. We make other blog sites where we make money through advertising, where the traffic just comes straight from Google, on autopilot. People view the page, we get like $10 to $20 per 1,000 visitors. And so we do that. And then it kind of, when we saw this land thing over a year ago now, Mike sent me one of your videos, and it was like, I was thinking we should do this, but I don't know if we wanted to get into something new. Because at the time, we weren't sure what we were doing because we needed something that was a bit, as we grew along with this, we needed to make more money for our time. And even though we drop ship expensive products and can make, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 per transaction, we saw the land as something where we can make even more than that. And as two people who, we don't want to grow a 1 million person corporate business, so we need to make a lot of money per transaction. So when we saw this, we're like, okay, this has the potential to do that. This would be the first stepping stone to get us there. So that's how it all came to be. That's how we got started, just making money online, and then eventually got started with your program.
So it worked. Like, what's the typical deal for you guys now, and what's the typical deal that you want to happen in 2021?
So, I mean, a typical deal, I think we're still trying to find our niche in doing all of this. But really, when, like Joe said, we already sell stuff and, we can make $500 or $1,000 or more on a transaction. So I didn't want to get into it and do the desert property stuff because I already have that in other business. For me, the thing that really turned me on to doing this was the idea that you can make 5 figures or more profit per transaction. So that's what we try to shoot for in everything that we do. So I'm not going to say, we started out, we probably had more like make 2,000, make 3,000, 5,000. We do a lot of deal funding, and we did a lot in the past. So, if you make $10,000, you only get 5 out of it, sometimes less because of the marketing stuff. But I was okay with that in the beginning because it's just proof of concept, right? I have other things, I need to do. I would rather just do the work and get the feedback and then figure it out from there. And then I'll invest more of my money. So yeah, we want to make at least 5 figures profit on each deal. And we're getting into more of that now.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah. I love that you guys are doing this, the deal funding already. I'm so glad. That's just, do you have one person in particular that you partner with a lot, or are you spreading it out with other people?
I do have a guy now that I work with a lot. So, back in the day, I would just put everything on Land Tank, and whoever claims it, claims it. Now I have some people I like working with. They're easy. I just shoot them a text, say, hey, I got this. You in or not? And then usually it's a yes. So
did you find him on Land Tank?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And, I've met with them in person. So I have a few people I have a good relationship with now.
That's cool.
I mean, the first time I put a property on Land Tank, I had like huge resistance to doing it. I was like, who's going to do this? No one's going to want to finance this property. I put it up, and then like within minutes, someone reserved it. I didn't even understand. I couldn't even figure it out because it was so quick. But
Land Tank is one of the most most underutilized tool that we provide.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you go back to that live stream I did, there was a couple mailers where I literally just put every single property we got on Land Tank. So all I invested in was the mailer cost. And, we make $10,000, $20,000 back on that mailer, which they weren't even big mailers, a couple thousand units.
That's so.
So did you end up being the money guy on the properties that you found, and then you got people to go out there and sell them, or did you actually do all the work and got them funded from other people?
I was more interested in having people finance our deals. So I wanted to get good at the mail part, because what we're all about really is learning the skill set. And I know you feel the same way, Steve, that's what's really important in this business, is figuring out how to choose counties well, figuring out how to do data, do pricing. And so, I knew it was going to take at least a year or two to narrow that down and really figure it out. And if I could do that while spending as little money as possible, that way I can get the biggest returns, and I can almost get paid to learn, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the real value here for anybody, except for people who are just loaded, which is fine too, but the real value here is learning how to find undervalued real estate. And I've been probably said it 1,000 times since we started this in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about finding cheap dirt or cheap houses or whatever you're into.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I had some deals that, I put on Land Tank that weren't the best deals, and they still sold somehow, which I'm blown away by. But yeah.
That's you. That's what I was just going to ask you. Yeah. That's you guys.
That's what I think too.
I'm thinking like, okay, because there's a lot of people that present deals to me that I'm like, shucks, they're not that great of deals. But the person is so new, they don't have the confidence. They can't figure out how to market it anyway. And so that is the value of what you guys bring to the table, is that you are marketing pros, obviously, and making things look great on the internet. Is you got that nailed. It doesn't matter what the product is. So I would and will loan you money all day long.
What's funny is going into this, we expected we have the marketing stuff down. This is going to be really easy. We have all these tricks that we're going to be able to drive traffic. But really, I found it to be a lot simpler. It's like what you guys talk about, it's just about reach.
Yep.
Because with real estate, it's someone's looking for a property. They're going to a set number of places. They're going to Facebook. They're going to the MLS sites, Realtor, Zillow, whatever, and maybe Craigslist, land.com network. So for us, it's been just finding those places, putting it up there. Obviously, you want to do a good description, you want to do good pictures, but at the end of the day, I mean, I found it just to be, there's like a magical price that you put in and the inquiries will come.
Exactly.
Yeah, people always want to deviate. Even our students who we teach the other businesses that we do, we find that for some reason they'll have a little bit of success and then they'll want to deviate from what we teach them, which is fine. But we've learned over the years that once you have something that works, you just do it over and over and over again and at a greater scale, and then you get more success. So that's what we're doing with the mailers. I mean, we've had discussions whether, we should get people coming in from Google to the site, do some more paid advertising to people who may be looking to sell their land. But at the end of the day, if we have something that works, which you guys taught us with the mailers, why not just scale that up?
Exactly.
We're natural born deviators, just like you're describing, really.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's how I came up with this whole send out mail, achieve your numbers, reach is one big deviation out of disgust for like going to auctions back in the day and how much time it would take. You have to fly or drive wherever you're going and show up at an auction. And very often you would just get goosed at an auction because some local person was there buying real estate and they knew the market and just bought it all. So
yeah,
this is my way, or the devising this mail scheme was my way of ensuring some consistency.
I'd say not everyone is a natural born deviator though. Right? Like seriously, because people deviate and they don't, I think before you go and deviate, first of all, you have to have a good background in what you're about to do, because, even in the things that we teach, eventually we had to take what we learned and go and blaze our own trail. So you were already familiar with how the land worked. You were going to the auctions. And so you just needed a different way to complete that system. Like I could have never gone anywhere without this program. I'm not saying that just to, because I'm on the show. I'm watching this program and I had no idea like what a deed was, how to do any of this stuff. And I'm like, how did he even come up with this system? And I think it's, it's truly brilliant, the idea of sending mail. And, we talked about this when you were on our show, but the whole idea of instead of driving traffic, to your website, you're sending out offers, and now it's a whole different dynamic. And I think it's a lot more geared towards success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. And half laziness, the way to do it the easiest.
Nothing wrong with that.
Everybody, it still comes up, all the time. Well, why don't we just do neutral letters or just do this or just do that? I'm like, do you really want to talk to that many people? I just had a whole thing. Like someone asked me on my Facebook Live yesterday, I mean, are you cold calling? I'm like, do you think I could do 20,000 people in a weekend cold calling? No, but I can hit them with a mailer.
Yeah.
So that I can do. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and there's something psychological about the number. But yeah, I mean, it's common sense. Like you said, you send someone a letter saying, hey, I'll buy your land, and you don't give a price, then you don't even know if they're a good candidate. You have to flush them out right away.
Totally.
I would love to talk to somebody who has success in a blind offer, just a letter of interest situation, because that's what, there are a couple of people who had land programs before us, and that's what they taught.
I think they changed though. I've watched
I know they changed
people over the years. It's actually comical since Land Academy came along. Some of the people that are in our community, and we're all cool and friends and everything's good, but they've kind of changed their tune a little bit. And now they're like, maybe we don't do so much terms. Maybe we do some cash, and maybe we do get some data over here. I'm like, thank you. It is easier.
Yeah. The only people that can work with that type of thing are realtors, because they don't care what it sells for as long as they get their commission. So I know realtors that do that they'll send out their own letters of interest. But I'm as I've learned, and I know you guys have reiterated, a lot of realtors don't really know what they're doing.
No.
Which has been interesting to find out. But
you know what I've been found of recently, because we've been doing a lot of real estate agent driven deals. They're so different, each of them. Like one of them might be great at due diligence. I've never seen one that's good at marketing. Never. I've never seen one that does anything with the property except put it on the MLS and then go look for the next listing.
Right.
Mhm.
But they might be good at, once the thing's under contract, babysitting the deal to get it closed, or deal good with inspections, or you know, it's interesting. I'm very used to lopping them all into one category, and I don't think that's the case anymore. So if you could get like 4 real estate agents in one that have each of the 4 talents, you could probably do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I have nothing against realtors. We actually have a couple that we really, really like. And to me, I think finding a realtor is one of the most important things in this business, because it'll take away a whole half of the entire process.
Yeah.
If you have someone that will go there and take pictures and get everything sold, like I don't want to talk to people and have to sell them on the property. So
yeah, when we first started, and what we usually do in online business, kind of how we grew so quickly to where we got to, was that Mike would do his thing and I would do my thing, and my thing was a lot of like the web related stuff, like setting up the website, getting all the products up on the website, and then going and building more websites. And so when we first started, my responsibility for the land stuff was, coordinating the photos and getting all that up on the website and making a video for YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And I know I think we still do that sometimes, but now, Mike, a lot of it is done, like you said, through the realtor. Like the realtor will take the photos and do all that, because that was a lot of work, I have to say. And so once we moved away from that, I don't really work that much on the business anymore. I kind of work on our other stuff. But so the next phase is obviously, like we talked to you, is to hire someone that's going to handle the bulk of what Mike's doing right now, which is the transaction coordinator. And then we could just keep sending out mail.
I love it. And then once you have established a relationship with these individuals, you can run deals by them. I'm sure you guys do this too, before it's done, and just say, hey, I think this is a great deal. I just want to get your eyes on it before I wire the money here. What do you think? And it's so nice to go, oh yeah, if we price it like this, I could sell it in a week, kind of thing. I'm like, that's what I wanted to hear. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Give me 2 days and I'll tell you when to go. So it's funny, we're just what you're thinking about, how they're all different. I realized it made me think about what's the one quality that I have. I have one broker of all the people I've worked with. There's one broker that I love the best, and there's a certain quality about him that I love about him, and it's not a lot of words. Like seriously, we barely talk, we barely text, we barely if we ask each other how your day is going, that's kind of weird. Like we're both like so busy, and it's perfect, And hey, here's the deal. I'll let you know. Great, awesome. It's so short and sweet. And then we don't even talk about, here comes a document, done. I just sign it. I just know it's coming. And so that's my favorite.
Yeah, we have some realtors that's ultimately what I want. I want to be able to send you my signed purchase agreements that I think are good. You go out there, you tell me what you think, and then I'll move forward with it or not. So like I said, I have some realtors that are great with that. They get it. They understand the value in that. And we can go on and we can do a lot of deals together, and I'll continue working in that area. But some of them just don't get it.
Right.
Like that. It's like I gotta sell them on this idea, or like try and convince them that I'm farther along in the process that I am. So I don't know. And we've also
Let's move on.
we made the mistake of bringing on a non-land specialized realtor one time, because I just couldn't find any in the area that would work with the property size that I had, and it was a huge mistake. And they said, I'll sell it for double what I was thinking of selling it for. I was like, all right, well, I'll give you a chance. 3-month listing, and then after like 2 weeks, no leads, no inquiries. I was like, I'm out. Give me the paperwork. And then I sold it myself in like a week.
Yeah.
But
did you sell it at the price that you valued it at, the sale price?
it was what I thought I was going to sell it at.
Yeah.
You know what? Whoever's listening or watching this, that is an incredible, valuable lesson.
Yeah.
So I've been teaching this concept, and I built the business before Joe on doubling your money. So the cheaper you can buy it, you double your money. It might still be 50% less than what it really could go for if you spend some time marketing it. But man, just keep moving through it and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
And real estate agents, for whatever reason, the vast majority of them,
Right.
for whatever, just believe that you should maximize price.
Correct.
And I think that'll kill the velocity of this really fast if you start maximizing price on these land deals.
It's true.
And that was definitely something that I learned in the beginning, was that, yeah, it is all about velocity. And, the real estate industry it's much more of a, I don't know what you would call it, but like a real market where, the supply and demand curve like fully applies. Our other businesses are a bit different. But yeah, I mean, just the lower you have something, the more people will gravitate to it and the quicker it'll sell. And it's not worth, just waiting it out for months and months just to try and sell someone. It could be worse buyers. It's just, I don't know. It's not what you want.
And you want people to feel great. I really want my buyer to feel like he stole it from me.
That's what I want.
Then it's like, everybody's happy. He's never going to come back, never going to say anything. And good, that's it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like you said, it's just about the turnaround times. And, I was talking to Steve about this recently, about how, because of COVID, it slowed us down a lot. I think that's why we were in a better position when we spoke to you guys originally. But yeah, that's like our main hurdle right now, is getting deals done quicker.
Yeah. Did I hear you're hiring? You're getting a transaction coordinator or some things?
Yeah. We've been, trying to do some interviews and working through that. But yeah, because I mean, really, the one takeaway from all this, and this is what all the people say that you have on the show, is you need to send out more mail.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do that's gonna bring 1,000 deals in off of 1,000 units of mail. All right, so that's the main lever in the business, and then the pricing and all that stuff will come along the way as you do it more and you get better and better at it. So yeah, right now I spend too much time, trying to do due diligence on stuff and trying to sell properties if I don't have a realtor. So
yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, and I say this in I think it's Land Academy 2.0, you would spend maybe a half hour, 45 minutes making decisions on what to buy and pricing stuff to sell. And then maybe another hour a week, maybe two, doing a mailer. Because that's really the talent in all this, is making the decisions on the buy and the sell price and making sure that you're getting mailings out pretty effectively. So everything else is just mechanical. It's repetitive mechanical stuff. I don't think it's like repetitive mechanical, outsource it to the Philippines necessarily, but you do have to have somebody who's experienced enough that can make it happen and want to make it happen. And it's harder to fill that position than you would think.
Well, I was going to share, our team is in the process. I hope it's okay, because I'm sharing it now anyway. So,
with me?
No, with the planet. So our team is working on a Land Academy job board where we can share, or be like, we can all post whatever we're looking for. And maybe somebody works, half time for you and half time for me during the week. I don't care, whatever. And they have that great talent, or there's somebody in our community who has that great talent that says, hey, I'm happy to do it for you guys too. Pay me. I'd be like, sure, kind of thing. So there's going to be a nice job board for all of us to use.
Or maybe they have some experience as a real estate agent and they're actually the non-typical real estate agent and they want to do a side hustle and do a couple of deals or I just think hopefully we can put people together.
We have members in our group that are former real estate agents.
Right.
Turned investor that said, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Or title agents, even if you take a deal on the side for $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah. That'll be good.
We'll see. I mean, it all could be a huge disaster, but I think it'll be all right.
I think it'll work out.
It's going to be good.
You're definitely right about the repetitive and mechanical thing. That's something that we experience a lot, where eventually once you can make your first transaction in a business, making the rest of them is just the same thing over and over again. And then to do that, you just need to get someone in there that's going to handle all the little details. So yeah, that's definitely where we're headed, because, we just needed a year to really get our feet wet, make sure it works, make sure it's, lucrative in compared to other stuff. But now I think we definitely see the full potential once we get someone doing the mechanical, repetitive stuff, all of it.
It's good.
I got to say, you guys have, it's a year later, and when you started this, you didn't know how to fill out a deed. That's pretty impressive. I'm not one to blow smoke about things like this, but that shows some really, I mean, you obviously, I've always said that if you own your own business successfully in some way, this can be a great addition to it, because you know stuff's going to fail, and you know you're going to have to try it again. And the first two transactions won't be the best ones you ever do. So it says a lot about you guys, and especially as siblings working together, because we get this a lot. Like, there's not a lot of people that can work with family.
Yes.
Well, I think the important thing is that we were both kind of successful on our own beforehand. So we know the rhythm. Like, we're not going to disagree on, like, in the beginning, like, we're not going to go back and forth over a property when we know that, all right, we just need to close it, see what happens, and go from there. Like, we're not going to waste time. Like, should we get it? Should we not? Oh, it's your fault. You said we should get it. You know, so we just realized, like, that stuff is a waste of time.
Totally.
Yeah, there's no way about it.
That's interesting you bring that up, because I can't remember the last time, and you'll probably remind me of when we blamed each other for something, like, wow, that was a terrible acquisition, or why haven't you sold it fast enough? Or, like, we just don't have talks like that.
No, the only one is that one I always remember where I had it was like I was newly getting started, and we were accidentally working the deal together, and you undid my price that I had with the guy, and you came in and offered more.
That's like 10 years ago, by the way.
It was so long ago. I'll never forget this, because it was so funny. Because at the time, I was working out of our bedroom upstairs, and his office was downstairs. And I saw these notes pop in, and I'm like, ooh, and I come flying down the stairs. I was mad. Like, what did you do? And he's like, I had no idea. I'm like, okay, we got to pick right now who's doing the deals. And you're like, okay. When it comes to talking, he would give me prices, but it comes to the talking on the phone, that was all me. So that was a lot.
And it's still like that to this day. Like, I don't talk to the sellers or the buyers.
Nope. My door is closed. No, we don't talk about it. You know where to find it in Airtable if you have any questions, and there you go.
Doing separate things like that is probably the most important thing that we ever did, because we used to do that as well. We'd both be picking up the phones and just completely overlapping.
Right.
Yeah.
And it confuses people. If you're both working a deal together, it confuses your broker, confuses the seller, confuses the buyer. Like, okay, who am I talking to? And, what's the deal here? So
here's my final question to you guys. What advice? There's a lot of people watching and listening that are like, well, a year from now, I'd like to be making $100,000 too, or 200 or 300, whatever the numbers are. What's your advice to somebody who's starting, specifically if they already own a business, they're doing okay?
Well, what they need to understand is that there's very few businesses out there where you can repeatedly generate, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 and upwards of profit. And so this is a system where you can actually do that. And as long as you keep at it and you're willing to learn the skills, then the ability to get returns and generate profit from that, you have so much leverage. So you just need to keep at it, keep sending mail, correcting your mistakes, and you'll get there.
So it's worth it.
The
pain is worth it.
It is.
Pain. There's no pain.
It's all pain.
Oh my goodness. You're silly. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you on today. And we're happy, listener, that you could join us today 5 days a week. Find us right here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, or join us for another interesting episode on the Land Academy Show, for sure. Mike and Joe, thanks. Great to talk to you once again. And I hope it's not another year until we have another show and see where you are, let's say 6 to 8 months from now.
Yeah, thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.